All right. So, first thing right now, first thing I want to look at is the fact that we're back above the 10. I'm not really a huge fucking EMA guy. I don't really stroke off for EMAs, but I have found that my most profitable longs are always when we're above the 10. My least profitable longs are when I'm longing underneath the 10, right? Oh shit, you've modeled for 13 years. That's fucking wild. Um, so we're back above the 10 right now, right? And obviously we're trading in a range, so that doesn't necessarily mean much. But longs are always going to be favored when prices above that 10 EMA. So, like, if you guys are looking for a good indicator of when should I be long, when should I be short, long and fine longs as long as price is above the 10. Look for shorts and find shorts if price is trading below the 10. Um, so we breached that 90K ish deviation that I was talking about. I personally fucking didn't buy shit down here. I know it was part of my plan. I was really hoping we'd candle close down in around in here, have some candle closures, and we wouldn't like SFP and take out all these lows and then end up closing higher. I was really hoping we'd get candle closures down here and then see a slow grind up. To me, that is 100% more of a bullish scenario than the SFP. But quite frankly, I don't really think it matters. But as far as like if I prefer PA to be bullish, I prefer candle closures down here and then have slow grinds up versus basically a V recovery in a sense, and then now chopping about. Either or is good for bullish PA, but in my mind, the candle closures down here, deviation style play over an SFP is always better for, price to go its direction. Um, per the data and everything that I have tracked. So right now, we were basically trading within this range here. This is your deviation. These are your SFPs of the range, right? And so right now, this is going to be our key kind of levels that we're going to work off as far as any kind of short-term trading that's going on. Um, this is your support. This is your resistance. So right now, path of trajectory, in my opinion, is towards this 99, to 100K level. We're gonna treat Bitcoin as a range-bound environment until we're above 102. Once we're above 102, this to me is clear skies, long until all-time high. Um, like if we're having candle closures above here, above this gray box, we get any sort of candle closure above on the daily, then it's full fucking send. Pack your boys, pack your bags. Fucking long here, fucking liquidation here, TP all time high kind of stuff. Um, path of trajectory for Bitcoin, in my opinion, right now is our next evaluation point is going to be this area. It's a bit of a big area. I think any longs taken on alts or whatever, you're going to want to, go ahead and size down or trim out between 99 to 102. In my opinion, we're going to pretty much go straight up from here. We could dip down, get back, right? Create this as like a range here and then go up higher. Um, but this is where you're going to be looking for a period of longer consolidation or some rejection back into, say, our level of support before continuing higher. So right now, if I was to draw like a simple price action, what I think we're going to do is it either A goes sideways here or B goes straight up. This is our target area. We either get a consolidation batch right here for a few days, maybe a week, and then we get a pull back down into here at 95, and then we continue going higher. So this is pretty much what I'm thinking about and roughly kind of expecting out of Bitcoin. The only thing that'll invalidate any kind of pullback or sideways chop, in my opinion, is we get daily closures above here, because daily closures above gray means that bottom of gray will become support. So if there's any kind of dip that happens, our support will be found here, and then we'll continue higher if we have candle closures up above the gray box. Does that make sense for everyone? And yes, Ralph, come on. You can't be Captain Bull without saying you're longing till liquidation. As Kaiser would say, I am, liquidated on every single trade that I take. Tabachi. So, personally, I old me would have told you yes. If I was trading, about a year ago, year and a half ago, I would have told you yeah. I'd take a short at 99 to 102. Um, the way I trade nowadays, the past like year and a half, basically since 2023 June, um, if right now, right, since 2023 June, we've been in basically a macro bull market, right? Here's June 2023, right? We've been in basically a whole entire bull market. The way I look at it is I ate a lot of shit of alts during this time. I did. I fucking went from like a 750K portfolio value all the way down to 120K. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and fucking say I fucking had an amazing time trading during this time. No, I fucking ate fucking dog shit. Right? But perspective, I started with around 3K around here. I got all the way up to 100, 750K by here. And now I'm down to 120K here. Really, 3K to 120K by here? Are you really fucking that pissed off? No. But anyways, the I won't short during this market at all. I'll start shorting when I feel like the market's going to turn into a bear market. I would rather just focus on trading the actual trend versus trying to counter trade the trend for pullbacks, if that makes sense. Um, to me, I'm a lot more profitable that way. I have noticed that if I'm not trying to think about where things are going to pull back, where I maybe want to short, I'm able to ride my longs better, and I'm also able to actually know where I want to actually close out my longs better. That sounds kind of backwards, knowing where to close out your longs better if you're not thinking about shorting. But in all actuality, um, a lot of times what will happen in a bull market is you'll get bear market PA or something like this, SFPs, and then it does come down into here, but then it continues going higher. And my profits of ignoring shit like that compared to if I would have cut and shorted and then tried relonging and then maybe not getting filled on a long or anything. My profits are a lot higher as far as me being a trader with not shorting. And just focusing on longs and focusing on where I want to sell my longs and then recompound, if that makes sense. Comprende? Yeah. Okay. So I personally, I think I've shorted maybe 3 times out of this entire market, and I won't short until I feel like we have, a trend change, which right now a trend change would be uh on Bitcoin at least would be a breaking candle closure below this 85K level. That's why I haven't marked out on this chart, because this low was the low here in this little consolidation batch, right? If we're gonna go look at price right here, because market structure can be difficult, because right now in theory this is your low that generated this entire movement here. But to say that market structure is broken when we have candle closures below here, that's a far ass fucking drop, right? So daily bullish structure to be intact on Bitcoin has to remain above 85K. And that's simply, I'm taking that because we have this wick here, and that's our low set. And this was that low that was set in this period batch of consolidation here. This batch of consolidation, although it might be small, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days worth of price action. That 7 days of sideways is what led to this expansion here, right? So that's the low that got set in the consolidation batch, making it the low that is required to be held on to for a bull market. Now, obviously, yes, we can come SFP it, we can come deviate, reclaim, and then continue going up. We can do that shit. But as far as, if we get a candle close down here, that's the line in the sand. I think I need to start trading trends and shorting the markets, and being efficient and not thinking about longs. So is it reasonable to short here? Yes. Do I think it's a smart play? No, I think any kind of upside here is going to be minimum. I don't think we're going to see a range low revisit. That was kind of the range low revisit was this scenario that I talked about on the last VC and in my channel. So we've already kind of achieved that. We haven't achieved it in the sense of what I wanted, like I went over in the beginning, but this is also still what I wanted. So right now, path of trajectory up to here. I don't think shorting is really worth it. I think maximum amount of downside you're gonna get from there is into this like 96K level from 102. So in all reality, that's a 6% drop, which I know is a decent drop, but if we're looking at the basis of just longing from here and you round trip along and then fucking ride it up, I think we're looking, right around a 20% value. So do I really want to short this when I'm trying to aim for something like this or this? Not really. I'd rather be focused on trying to position myself for a long up into here. Um, so Bitcoin overall thoughts. Up into here or here, gonna see either sideways or a little bit of rejection down into 96. I think that'll be the low that sets before we see 110K to 120K territories. So let's go ahead and get this on there. Right. Settings, text, coordinates, 120. Settings, 10. And then we'll go ahead and do this into my channel, and I can make it easy for the people that don't want to join VC. Updated BTC plan, right? Batch of consolidation between 102 to 99K. That's our path for upside right now. We will see rejection from 102 to 96K or consolidation between that 102 and 99K level before price moves up to 110K to 120K. There, updated BTC plan. So, does anyone have any questions with BTC? What would give you the short signal for would it be based on market structure, price targets, or cycle based? So right now the most accurate form of measurement to cap downside losses in spot and start flipping short side on futures is based off daily market structure for me, Dave. Based off, my experience in this entire market cycle right here, daily market structure breaks have been the best. I wanted to go ahead and sell everything at the shoulder, and I have DMs with Arsh. I'll pull them up that I wanted to sell and short everything right around here, but I didn't because of the Fugazi belief that we were going at 100K, and I was kind of new to crypto. I entered crypto around here when I did enter crypto coming from stocks. I'd been trading stocks for a year already and profitable in stocks, but I did not trust my gut, didn't do any of that, fucking got my ass blown out on this drop because I had fucking bids and fucking limits and fucking liquidations because of that. So, daily market structure breaks, right? Daily market structure breaks, shoulder bounce. Last cycle I took the daily market structure base breaks based off this candle closures right here. This candle closed lower than these lows here. This was just a deviation because of all these lows being closed above this level, and then we had this low, and then I sold everything, and I didn't even wait for a bounce, and I said I'd buy back above here if we got above here, like kind of like such. I'd end up buying back, and then we could trade towards all-time highs. Otherwise, I was net short until at least 40K back here, because I wasn't necessarily calling for a bear market. I was open to the idea that we can come to 50 longer than this, probably. Anyways, where was I? Fucking, oh yeah. So yeah, the best signal I personally have data wise, Dave, is based off daily market structure breaks, right? So right now our daily market structure break is below 85K. Um, if we were to get candle closures below that, fucking you look to sell all on the next bounce that you get if we get a bounce kind of deal. Um, So it's something to keep in mind. I am under the personal belief that this cycle will end in a blow off the top scenario. I think that it's going to be hard to judge based off of like, I think, the market structure break is going to be something like where it is a 20% drawdown, you know, to market structure break, whereas back here, this was only a 10 to 15 14% drawdown for a market structure break. This was a hefty one here, 20%, but I kind of have a feeling it's going to be closer to like a 30. Yeah, I mean, fuck, 20%. It'll be probably another 20%, but that's a 20% here is a hefty drop compared to for the market structure break. So, because it's going to be a blow off the top scenario, in my opinion, not a, one that is kind of sideways and protrudes. I don't think we're going to get a sort of clean, because a lot of people are calling top right now, or not a lot of people, but there have been some people on Twitter calling top. I don't think we're going to get a distributive top. And part of that is because people are trying to call top right now. I kind of have been feeling this way for a while, but I think we do get a blow off the top scenario where you're kind of going to be pissed if you don't sell. Say, like, you're selling around here is going to be kind of a difficult thing to do, and you only have a couple days to do it. And you're not going to realize you only have a couple days to do it until we do it. That's the whole point behind a blow off the top scenario. So I kind of feel like we have a blow off the top. I am personally, Dave, like if we're trading up to like 150 and 180K, I am looking to offload about everything. Regardless. Before, I'm normally an always all in, all out kind of spot deal. Where I'm back. Hello. Sorry. I am hoping that doesn't happen again. Fucking roommate. Dumbass fucking using too much power. I don't even have shit on in my room besides this PC now. Um anyways, the yeah, so I think it's gonna be a blow off the top scenario. I'm inclined and welcome to receiving, a distributive top Fuck. I'm not streaming yet. You're right. My bad. There we go. Okay. I'll repeat everything I just said. Um, I do think it's gonna be below the top. I am okay and perfectly welcome to the idea that we get a distributive top up here. Or maybe this is a distributive top we end up getting kind of deal, right? Kind of like the last one in a sense. Maybe a little bit more dramatic. Um, but and the reason I'm okay with that is because will allow us to have more fun with alts, right? But the I just don't think it's going to happen. I personally feel like this is going to be one of the ugliest bear markets that we've had. It's going to make kind of a lot of people question, say, maybe the US government's idea to go ahead and put money into Bitcoin as a reserve and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. You know, that ends up being the bear market bottom of why the fuck did they do this? We've lost all this money, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, Larry Fink's just buying out the ass. Um, so yeah, kind of like market thoughts on that. Um, well, stocks are supposed to statistically have a red year next year. And then after that, it can be green or red. It doesn't really matter. And then after that, it's for sure green. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a distributive top. I just don't think they're gonna give us a chance to get clear, clean cells, which is the other reason why, I will be blue in the face to say we aren't topped right now. And that we aren't going to close a candle below 85K until we're trading at 120 to 150K Bitcoin. But yeah, that's Bitcoin kind of thoughts and all that. I hope that answers your question, Dave. Because yeah, as far as data is concerned, that's what I'm going to be looking at data wise. I do have a time based formula, on this chart that I did. I haven't touched this chart besides a couple drawings like this and these, but outside of this blue line, this blue line, this blue line, this fucking blue shit, this fucking blue shit, this fucking blue shit, this fucking blue shit, this, basically everything besides anything that could be fucking penciled in, I haven't touched since back here. Um, and it's been accurate within a couple days and time and whatnot. So the end of the bull market ends either around here, which is a scenario I'm planning for by, I don't know if I've discussed it in here, but my plan is to sell everything in April and reevaluate for the summer right now. I think I'm going to go 100% cash on spot by the end of April and then plan to maybe rebuy in the summer. Um, if I end up having to buy higher or lower, then so be it. Um, but to me, the market can top in April and May. I'll be happy to reevaluate and reposition for a pump into November, which is basically what should happen based off historical ish data. Um, I'll be happy to reposition during the summer for this. But I want to consider my bull market over in April. Um, so that's just how I'm going to treat it with my account. Go back to cash dominant and not long dominant in crypto. Um, and yeah, that's this is my time-based formula. So somewhere around November, first couple weeks of November, or in April and June. Well, April, May. Like April, I'm believing under the belief that April will be green and the candle monthly candle will be closing very green. It's just after May. And part of its seasonality of selling May go away kind of deal. Um but yeah, does that answer your question with scaling out, Steven? I do have price targets on things, right? Like I think I might have called Ondo in here. I'm not sure. I believe I did around like hereish. I think it was hereish actually, back in August. And targets of like $2 and $5. I've scaled some out. I've personally redistributed it. Yeah, including long term. So, long term, like I plan to be mostly dominant cash by the end of April. Like where portfolio is at least 60% in cash for my crypto portfolio. Um, at the very least 60%. Like my plan is to be cash dominant. That'll be the first time I've been cash dominant since having to reposition from last year's altcoin bear market. Um, because you know me, I typically just run it the entire market cycle and end up closing out my altcoins by the end of the market cycle, regardless of what their price is at. The cycle's been a little bit different and having to, should have rotated more. But the yeah, I mean, as far as anything that I've sent spot wise for long terms, if I have price targets, I'm taking those off at price targets, but otherwise like I'll scale out when Bitcoin is out. Um when I feel it's time to be bearish on Bitcoin. So, any other questions right now? Or do we want to talk about some alts? You guys have any alts you want to talk about? 'Cause I don't really have much to go over outside of the Bitcoin and like market thoughts. And I can go over a couple altcoins, but I'm just not sure if you guys want something right now. Soul. I'm really not happy with this chart. There really shouldn't be any reason for price to have done this the past 2 months. This should have closed either way greener or this should have closed up as well, and then we could have some red. Um, I'm not really like keen bullish soul. It's not a core position in my spot holdings for like the first time in a while. Um, I do feel like this is like the same chart as ETH BTC pretty much. I feel like it's going to replicate it. I do think this can get one more pump back up from here. Just obviously this doesn't look like it was the range low anymore, and maybe that is the range low there. Um, I thought at first that maybe this was a deviation and then we had our lows set right there. But now with price coming back underneath the second time, this might be the range low, and then we get our deviation into demand here. And then after that deviation, you get your reclaim, and then you get one more pump up. But any other kind of pump up here, up to range high again, because if we go back, right, 1, 2, right, range, pump up, 3, and then bear down, right? You guys can kind of see that chart, right? the idea behind this right now? Let's go here. All right. Okay. So up, turbo down, into here, then up again. Right. Let's go back up to ETH BTC. Shit, would you look at that? It's almost like he's talked about this before. 1, 2, deviation, third drive up. Boom, 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 boom. Here's your little box consolidation batch. Inverse head and shoulders, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Pump 1, pump 2, right? Go back to Sol BTC. Pump 1, pump 2. Here's your box consolidation, inverse head and shoulders, fucking 1, 2, maybe deviation if this is your deviation, or we just get range low, reclaim. 3, bleed out, back to the box of consolidation. What's up, Justy? So the charts are very similar. I think Sol is going to see really good reflective PA of ETH. Might be the best bear market altcoin buy. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even thought that far into the future, Dave. I'm gonna be honest, and I didn't last cycle. You know, I mean, I kind of did. I felt like Sol was gonna be the best coin to buy, and then I really didn't know when I was buying it at $8. I was really questioning my fucking beliefs. Um, I was just like, fuck it. D God's leaving. This has to be the bottom. That was like my main copium on it. Um, so it's too far out for me to think crypto wise. Stocks is different to think that far out, but crypto, I don't like looking past like trying to think about what's going to be good for the next bear market right now. I'd rather just stay focused on the bull. And then once we get towards like a bear market bottom, that's when I'd rather to start thinking about what's good around here. And a lot of that is just because you have time with these things, right? Like Solana, you had time to buy it at $20, right? $30 from June 2022 all the way until November 2023. That's a year, right? That's a little over a year. You have time to like go ahead and try and figure out what's going to be good. Um I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you on the fact that it's one of the strongest performers this cycle, and Sol was basically the strongest performer last cycle, and then it ended up being good this cycle. I mean, anyone that tells you Sol going from fucking 8 to fucking 260 isn't a good buy because it didn't really make a true all-time high is fucking kissing their ass. Wish they fucking bought at 13, and they can suck my left and gargle my right. But that Sol BTC pump will be good enough to send Sol to like 500, by the way. So if that BTC pump happens like Ethereum, that leg, because that leg in Ethereum Bitcoin, right? This happened from June 2022 to August 2022, right? If we go back to ETH USD, June 2022 to August 2022, right? That's this leg right here. Um, that was, 128% pump there, while Bitcoin pumped June 2022. 39%, right? So if we were to take comparable data and say Bitcoin pumps 39%, 40% from here, right? Okay, that puts us at right around 135,000. And let's say Sol, right? Let's say it just pumps 100%. We're not even going to get spicy and go the 130, but 100%, right? From here. 369, 370, right? Um, and that because it's a pairing, it's against, right? So in theory, we should be able to go more, and you get your 130% right around that, 450 to $500 price target. Everyone seems to have on Sol. Um, so yeah. Um, I'll remain bull basically until the end of the year. I mean, April is just a repositioning, and part of the reason for the April top out, I think a lot of people talk out of their ass when they say that they expect this cycle to be a shortened cycle, and they don't really truly understand why. My personal belief on why, and I can give you an answer why I think it's maybe a potentially shortened cycle, and why I'm actually going to cast position uh into April is because the reason this cycle can actually be shortened outside of law of diminishing returns and some bullshit answer that someone wants to give you. Previous all-time high, right? Previous all-time high, drawdown, right? And drawdown into not just any date, but the halving. We were down around 70% to 65% around the halving in 2020. We're down around 80% before the 2013 halving, right? To previous all-time highs. This time, however, by the time the halvening, whatever the fuck you want to call it, English ain't my fucking subject. That's why I got an engineering degree. We were already trading at all-time highs. That's my theory behind why I am going 100% cash in April and sticking with the seasonality of selling May go away. And historically, May is not a good month for Bitcoin. At least from what I remember. So, that's part of the reason I'd be going cash dominant slash position for that. Does that make sense to everyone? On like thesis behind why we could potentially see a shortened cycle. Yep. Okay. So yeah. Soul though, as far as like short term PA goes though, Steven, um, that was basically long term PA and the two another off tangent explanation. Um, I don't think you want to rush to step into positions. This should take some bit of time to continue to set something up, whether that is range below these highs here, and then we end up impulsing out. Target back up into here, previous equal high, and then you know, a higher high after that. Or we could see, a potential pullback into our 163, continue going down just because alts are behaving weird against Bitcoin. And this could happen on the Bitcoin pumps to 102K. We end up rolling up over into here. Bitcoin dumps to 96K. This is your 96K bottom bid on Sol. And then your target here for Bitcoin making all-time highs, your Sol target around here. So does that make sense on Solana, Steven? In short, if you're looking to get into a position, I think your best bet will be looking into, you know, having a flip of this level consolidation here. Break out of consolidation. You long that stop loss below the level or consolidation, TP into here. I think if you're looking to get into position, that's what you try and get into, is something like this. Or you wait to see if we get a pullback into 163 and you blind long it, limit bid it, whatever the fuck you want to do, and then you ultimately try to end up targeting all-time highs on either trade. Try to. Okay. Any other altcoins or questions? Because if not, I think we're just going to call it a night. Okay. All right. Well, that looks like it'll be it. Again, any questions in chats or anything, just ask me. I'll update, my channel as needed. Since we got to 90K, that was basically my update because the last call out was for a 90K deviation. So I'll update that as needed. But any questions, just feel free to ask. That's kind of just my thoughts for forward until next week when we stream. So have a good one, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something, and yeah.